I'm sorry. I don't care how good you are.
Huh?
Yeah.
Things take time, especially when you're working with such a beautifully intricately designed, like, I love it.
Did she just said he likes snoo snoo? Hi, welcome to the castle. We are back to another video from Jarvis Johnson and his Gold channel, where he does a little bit of social media commentary. I was vibing with him so much on the last reaction, so we definitely need to do another one. And the topic of this one is world's most pygmy podcast. Are you listening to podcasts? Because I personally, I tried to listen to a podcast duo of two German creators that I really like, but I tried it for like 2 weeks, and after that I just got bored. I just don't know. I can't. And it's okay. It's okay if you can and I can't. Nobody judging. But yeah, it would be very interesting if you listen to it and what it gives you for the podcast. Like, is it calming? Is it interesting? Is it teaching you something? That would be very interesting to know. But yeah, today we will see what Jarvis has for us about the world's most pygmy podcast. And I scrolled a little bit through the comment section, and I think it will be wild. It will be so wild, dude. There's like one of the top comments is, this podcast is peak man who try shrooms once and discover empathy, but it goes wrong. And I don't know what I should think about this. But yeah, let's just dive in and embrace probably a lot of cringe. Yeah, I will, as always, I will just ask a lot of questions if I don't understand anything specifically from a male's perspective. I'm very depending on you, so let's learn something together and have a good time. All right, here we are. This is our boy Jarvis. Everybody say hi.
Hello and welcome back to Jarvis Johnson Gold, a premium channel that is free. It is.
I hope the sound is okay.
But if you're watching this, you're premium.
We're premium. Listen.
There are too many podcasts. We all know this. I have a podcast.
This is something I noticed. Like, there was a time where just a few couple people had a podcast, and it was really, really cool. And then now just everybody has a podcast. No, I will not have a podcast. I think this is something I do not want to have. I'm too busy for that. I already do a lot of things. I just can't have a podcast now as well. I would just watch this video 2 years and then rethink my decision and my perspective. But for now, we will not have a Lina podcast. We yap too much already.
Get it out of here. Delete it. Trash bin, except for all of them. Mention, have microphones, yada, yada. You've been on the internet as well. They won't stop multiplying. And
I also don't think
a guy with a podcast is going to talk about two other guys with a podcast today, because I found a really good one. It's the best podcast I've ever seen.
Okay, it's a bad but I can't speak anymore. It's a bad podcast. I wonder.
And I'm lying. It's called Not So PG Podcast. The Not So PG Podcast, which, by the way, is not PG.
Debated.
So don't tell your parents about this one, because they get a little nasty. Some of the topics discussed in today's episode will be sexual in nature. I know if maybe that makes you uncomfortable, or maybe you're too young.
Okay, you all know my stuff is 18 plus because I curse a lot and I'm mad, and we talk about things that kids just should be kids, so get out of here.
Go away.
Yeah, get out of here. If you're not 18, out. There's the door. Just go play in the freaking playground. I don't care. Just go play something.
Getting the birds and the bees talk from YouTuber and podcaster, notably not model Jarvis Johnson.
Oh no.
So I'll catch you next time. It's hosted by someone named Peter Vigilante. Huge TikToker, hot boy.
Huge TikToker, 4.2 million views, almost 200 million likes. Monka. That is a lot.
His vibe.
Never saw him before.
Beautiful AI generated profile picture. He's an actor, a podcaster. He's also a television. He's a multi-hyphenate.
He's a TV. Where's the remote control?
not a lot of people are doing it like Peter, and that's why he's on the run. I don't actually know what his regular content is like, but this here, let's.
So apparently, if you cover your left eye and look up, it turns off the part of your brain that creates anxiety.
Okay, he's also a scientist.
Okay, we're going strong. We're going strong. We still have over 20 minutes of this. People, buckle up, man. Buckle up.
And a psychologist and a mental health expert and a TV. So
and a TV.
No one's really doing it like Peter. Okay, no anxiety. Wow, I suddenly am healed. This is awesome.
I will not do
I'm gonna
this.
call my insurance and cancel.
And they say to add a little bit of breathing. It just
breathing is
you.
good though.
And
if you have anxiety, if something makes you anxious, if you need just a moment for yourself, just close your eyes and breathe. Don't do this shit. Just close your eyes. Breathe a bit deeper maybe, and then go forward. It will be okay. But don't do this.
I feel quite calm.
Wow, thanks, Peter.
Wow.
Add a little bit of breathing, which is you always got to sprinkle a little bit of breathing into whatever you do, so that you live to
It will
continue
not
doing
cure
everything
it,
that
but
you're
you will
doing.
go over your
But
day.
this is Peter's vibe. Obviously, he's a genius. We're going to be focusing on the podcast today, but I wanted to give you just a little bit of
Dying.
a little bit of a primer
We have a
on
genius.
Big PV. The podcast that introduced me to the Not So PG podcast with PV, when he had a guest on that I was familiar with by the name of Garrett Nolan. If you Google him, he's an American model, social media
I also do not know Garrett Lone. I'm so sorry. I'm living in a very small bubble. I just don't know those people. Do you have to know those people?
personality, best known for his content on TikTok.
Another
I'm still in
TikToker.
contact with
Okay,
the
never
Wikipedia
mind.
people to see how I can get American model added to my Wikipedia, because that's really cool. He's
Jarvis, you would be one of the best models on the American Wikipedia. I swear.
done like lots of fun pick me boyfriend type content, 15 million followers. He does like acting where he's like perfect and amazing at it. My family is
Being the distant child.
broken. You get it. I didn't know he had this era.
Oh, he went to the military trend too. I see.
Sorry, I don't have time. I don't have time to open this chapter. I don't know what I just walked into.
Another video
I just know
coming.
from guys raised by their mom, guys raised by their dad. But like, go off, Peter. You contain multitudes. They had a clip go viral from the podcast that they did together, and that's where we're gonna start things today.
Would you not sleep with a girl just because she's on her period? Like, would you be like,
I'd be excited about the situation, actually.
Huh? Okay. Let's just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. We will be fine. We will be all right. Nothing bad can happen. It's just a video, but we will cringe. That's what we do.
I have a podcast with my good friend Jordan Adika, and this conversation has never come up for us. So I am wondering like, what led to this discussion. But the question on the table is: would you sleep with a girl who's on her period, or would you be like, I like how Peter Vigilante goes like, or would you be like, actually I've got a yoga class right now. I can't. Things are getting hot and heavy, but I have a prior engagement.
I'm sorry.
Actually I'm a vampire. And I don't want to show you that side of myself right now. The side of blood just makes me go, woo. So rain check. The answer to this question doesn't matter. This is like for two parties to decide, right? I do assume that the premise of this is that one party is already like cool with the situation. Garrett somehow finds the worst possible way to answer the question. I'd be excited about the situation, actually. I'd be absolutely thrilled. Consider my interest piqued at the prospect, ma'am.
I mean, if the girl is also fine with it and doesn't have any pain, I don't see a problem. But I mean, whatever floats your boat, right? If you're up for that, and the girl's up for that, some girls are even have more libido when they're on their period. I don't know why, because it's fucking nasty. Oh, I'm sorry, I swear it already. Please say on YouTube, don't hate me. It's freaking nasty. But you do you. If you're fine by that, but the way he said it was like, boy, gonna eat that girl.
Madam, what are synonyms for excited? Consider me exhilarated, stimulated, delighted, and proud to be in this situation, miss. Yeah, count me in. Not only am I down, but I am positively quivering with whimsy, madame. Milady, not only...
Jarvis, I'd never heard of so many ways to say, yeah, I'm down. Never heard of so many ways to say just I'm down.
Am I down? But I'm down to clown around town. I've been impregnated with glee in the presence of thee. Before we get into that, we have a brief word from today's sponsor.
Oh God!
You've heard me talk before.
We can relax a little bit during the outbreaks
from companies like Ticketmaster.
We can relax a little bit.
Unfortunately, this recently happened with national public data when over 2.9 billion records of personal information were leaked.
That is horrible, by the way.
Internet, including full names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, names of relatives, and most alarmingly, social security numbers. To add insult to injury, data brokers profit off of your data that is available online by selling it to whoever would be interested, potentially scammers and identity thieves. To keep my data secure, I use Aura. Aura quickly alerts me if my data has been compromised and provides swift fraud alerts to notify me if there's been any misuse of my data, like opening a new credit card or trying to start a bank account in my name. And if you're not me, that's a problem. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points, including the dark web and public court records, to detect and alert you to any potential identity theft. Aura actually offers identity theft insurance to protect you from the worst case scenario, but they offer so much more, from transaction monitoring, antivirus, VPN, password manager, parental controls. There's a mobile app. They can opt you out of data brokers selling your information for a profit.
I mean, it's nice with the services. Like, if you need that, please, if you consider getting something like this, please look up on like experiences with that provider. I'm always a little bit amazed about all those discounts. That is something that, that is a bit weird to me personally. Like, such a high discount is a little bit baity, I would say. But like I said, if you need something like that, please look up what is it, Aura, I think. And if you consider you need that, it would be fine if you support Jarvis. I do not have a cooperation with it. If he still has one, would not break a bone to just support a fellow creator.
And it's all conveniently located in one place for one affordable price. So let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. Head over to aura.com/Jarvis and get a 14-day free trial where you can see what information about you is out there and protect yourself. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
Would you not sleep with the girl just because she's on her period? Like, would you be like,
I'd be excited about the situation, actually.
Excited.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, before Garrett finishes, and look, I am not a period haver, but I would consider excitement a red flag, no pun intended. Yeah? Excitement? That's so strange. I'll say it. I'll name and shame and I'll play the blame game.
Yeah,
James.
a little.
You know?
The situation, actually. The blood coming from the cervix.
yeah.
The blood coming from the cervix.
I'm speechless.
Peter Vigilante. Yeah.
Cervix.
Yeah.
I feel as a transcript should only be present in a podcast amongst gynecologists. Or women. Just not too fuckboys is maybe that's where I draw my line. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm following you. I know all the things about female anatomy. In fact, this is like
I mean, one good thing is that male have interest in the female anatomy and want to learn something about it, because first of all, it improves the relationship. It improves understanding of when female have the period. So it is something normal. It is a daily situation, or like not a monthly situation for the female. And if you know females, it's just a pain in the ass. So having understanding and like interest in it, how it works, that you probably know how to support a female when she's on her period or having a bad time. I think that in the core is good.
Ending me of that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin where Steve Carell's character has never touched a boob, but he's trying to like play along with the guys, and he's like, yeah, ooh, yeah, and I grabbed them, and they felt like a bag of sand, right, fellas? That's what they feel.
I am a bit concerned if the tatas would feel like a bag of sand, dude.
Like
I should go to the doctor.
I know where it is. Right here. Right here on the right below the neck. You know, I clowned it at first, but I will concede that this is not so PG of a podcast.
Some divinity to it. I believe it has healing.
I agree with that.
What?
Wait, what? That has healing? The blood?
Based on what? What is happening right now?
To entertain and be a part of.
I think that's how you create a soul tie.
What are we talking about?
Are we still at the period topic? Topic?
Want to be a part of? This feels so strange. This is such an odd fetishization of like women's bodies like doing their thing. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. Maybe I'm the weird one. They should rename this podcast to the cervix guys, the divinity dudes. Women's bodies, I give that infinity booms because they're perfect. Hi, Peter Vigilante.
Okay.
Actor, model, TV.
Create a soul tie. It sure as hell creates a wonderful experience.
If it doesn't create a soul tie, it's like we've reached like this is like max
I feel uncomfortable and I don't know why.
Level pick me, right? This is like Elon Musk couldn't pay someone to boost his account to fight the level boss this is of pick me boyfriend. Ladies, all the parts of you are beautiful to me, especially when you're on your period. That's when I get excited. I want to create a soul tie with you. The soul tie and bond shit, they sound like warlocks, or at the very least vampires.
I can't get my sword a little bloody. I'm not a good.
What?
I want to shower. It caused such an overreaction. I just want to go to shower.
What? Vigilante heard me just say, call him a warlock, and he said, no, I'm a warrior class, baby. I gotta get my sword a little bloody. It's gotta go to war. I don't even want to say that out loud. That's disgusting. What do you mean, brother? No wonder he's wanted.
Get my sword a little bloody. I'm not a good knight.
If I can't get my sword a little bloody, I'm not a good... Oh my God, dude. This is...
Like I said, maybe the females don't want that because it's a freaking hell of a pain time. Some like it, some don't. Respect boundaries. Be supportive. Just don't be like this.
What do you mean? What is that metaphor? Sex is a battle to you? Tell me, in this metaphor, if you're a knight and your dick is your sword, then what is a...
Jarvis, the video will be demonetized because I'm still not in the monetization program.
Woman in the metaphor. You're making sweet love to her on the battlefield. You just stabbed her, okay, with a sword. That doesn't work. Or does it? I mean, you're the vigilante. He says it so nonchalant, too. He's like, if I can't get my sword a little bloody. Like he's a Rupi Kaur poem. Fuckboy Rupi Kaur says, if I can't get my sword.
But if this is the baseline, I still wonder what comes after this. Because of the whole build up now, I'm so curious.
Sword a little bloody, I'm not a good knight. The sword is my dick, by the way.
Sword a little bloody, I'm not a good knight.
I would like to say good night because this makes me want to go to sleep. I would challenge, and I mean, this is a thing where like these men know women in their real lives, and this got 585,000 likes. So I wonder what the women in their lives think about this.
I actually would like to go to that TikTok and check the comments. I would like to go to that TikTok. I'm not sure if I do that now or after the video. Maybe I will write a comment. I'm not sure yet. But I do be curious what comments there are.
It is a wild thing to discuss in public, even if you believe that. I say keep it to yourself. As someone who practices, I
There we go with the comments. Thank you so much. It creates a soul tie. I cannot. This is so funny. What? And then the other one is helps with the pain so much. I hope this was written by a woman. Like I said, some like it. I have a friend and his girlfriend. Man, that's the best time of the month for him. But it's different for everybody, okay? It is not regular.
I strongly believe it creates a soul tie. Practice is what? The way of the blade? I'll just say it.
The
The
way
only
of
soul
the
tie
blade.
I believe in is a swamp, a forest, and an island. That's for my magic heads out there. This probably gets cut from the video, but so it's awesome,
boy,
right? The
Jarvis.
podcast is awesome. As
You
someone with a
kept it.
podcast who posts clips on TikTok that you want to get traction, I've definitely had the passing thought, oh, we should say something really outlandish so that you can take the clip out of context. But at what cost is really the thing. I just can't get over that. So but I also can't look away. I mean, after all, he is a TV, so I must keep watching.
He is
I'm
a
at the stage
TV.
in my life where if someone cheated on me and I knew about it and they didn't know that I knew, I would just act like it's another day, and when they're at work, I would move everything out of the house and just leave and never speak to them ever again.
That's one way to deal with conflict. I'm not
I need to breathe. Dude. That is... Do you know what this leads into? Like, let's say there's person A and person B, they're a couple. No matter the gender. Person A cheats on person B. And person B knows about it. But person A doesn't know that person B knows about it. And person B decides to not talk about it. Do you want to know what happens then? This weird trend that is going on right now with the I slowly start to hate my girlfriend thing. Because like you just avoid conflict and it just tumbles down into some really bad place for both of you. I know it do be hard to have a conflict in a relationship. Been there, done that. But it is necessary to protect yourself, to protect your mental health, to also sometimes, depending on, not in this situation, but also sometimes protecting the mental health of someone else, right? So depending on the situation, just open up your mouth. If you can't do that, maybe write a letter, write some kind of message. Just like say, hey, I need to talk about something, but I can't speak it out loud. I have my troubles with it, which should be okay. Would it be okay if I write it down to you so we can somehow communicate and solve it together? If you can't communicate it verbally, you have other tools. You have a phone, you have pen and paper. Humans, just use your tools that you created. Don't be like that.
a therapist. I'm not an expert in any regard, not like these gentlemen, but I do feel like for your own closure, it could be.
I also like that they said sarcasm because I would not understand it otherwise. I was perfectly communicated that I could not understand it.
Nice to have a conversation. I could be wrong here, but to me it sounds like if something bad happened to me, I would bottle it up forever and avoid it and never address it again. That's just the kind of adult I am. What happened to not being afraid to get your sword bloody, right? Except for in this metaphor, the blood is the result of a emotional conflict and the sword is confrontation. I still don't know if we should ever use that metaphor for anything because it really just feels like you're killing someone every single time. So forget I said it, but also you shouldn't have said it either. I'm actually at the point in my life when I'm afraid to talk to somebody. I'm at the point in my life where confrontation and communication are things that I do not participate in. Yeah. I do not believe in them. I believe in soul ties only.
I can
I believe in
I can smell the sarcasm in there.
Soul, mind, body connections and no words exchanged. If you ever do me wrong, I will disappear into the night, never to be seen again. That's just the kind of adult I am. Model, by the way. If I found out my partner was cheating on me despite our soul tie that had been created through means that I discussed on a previous clip of this podcast, I would actually undo that soul tie. I would take off that full Windsor knot and lay down the tie like I lay down my sword. Which is my penis. I'm
you just put it on your bed.
By the way, I have a podcast.
Then it lies in there.
Guys tell me they don't eat
that.
They don't eat what? Wait, I'm so sorry. I've had guys tell me they don't eat
that.
They don't do it.
And I've had.
What do they eat?
When he said that, I thought he was gonna say, I've heard guys tell me they don't eat pussy.
Oh, the coochie. Okay.
That is the most disgusting, deplorable thing I've ever heard. If I have the opportunity to eat pussy, that is a soul tie and a soul
tie. Yeah.
And here I have a diagram of the cervix.
You're not gonna get anything done. 15 seconds, I'm sorry. I don't care how good you are.
Huh?
Yeah.
Things take time, especially when you're working with such a beautifully intricately designed, like, I love it.
Did you just said he likes snoo? Did you just say that? That's okay, but you don't have to make a poem out of it to attract people to your podcast.
This dude is unreal. It's like we've concentrated pick me boyfriend into like one substance, and it is this man. I like don't believe you. It's just so beautiful. 15 seconds, that's not enough time. Yeah, who is that news to?
Okay, so
yeah. Oh wait, I was ready with that question.
I was ready with that question because Garrett was looking in the mirror over there and he was going, you know what I miss? I miss eating.
I can't, dude. I just can't. Give me a second. I need to clean my nose. It's a little stuffy. Give me a second. All right, much better. Let's continue.
What?
What?
Maybe I'm lacking this version of male friendship in my life, but I have never and can never imagine a situation where I'm with a friend and they're looking in the mirror and saying that they miss eating pussy. That is the most...
I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. This is incredible. And so it's so incredibly stupid. Okay, I have a question. I know a lot of males are here. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Because I do not know how to feel and I need your help.
Maidenless thing I've ever heard in my life. Is the podcast the Not So PG podcast because it's only about vaginas? Because that is like 90% of the clips I've seen of them so far.
Oh, really?
In different clothes, mind you. I just love thinking about Garrett in full like army fatigues doing a TikTok dance while his friend talks about how he was looking in the mirror and how he misses eating pussy.
I could feel my eyes dilate.
God!
Too, because Peter knows I've been celibate for way too long now.
Is this a cry for help? I think we found the problem. This is vital lore to everything that Garrett...
Wait, what is the problem?
...has said so far, where he's like mythologizing the labia. You know what I mean? And it also is so dehumanizing to women, right? Like as just like objects. Because so far, there's been, other than the talk about a soul tie, there's been nothing about the actual connection that you have with a person.
Yeah, or how
like
how the other person feels, or like, you know, it's like a dance between two people. It's not your dance; it's a dance between two people.
Actual being. I don't know, man. This is sad to me. It feels like they're like respecting women TM, you know, like they're saying the words that like sound like they're putting women up on a pedestal, but it doesn't like come out.
But they still making an object out of them, which is weird. That is very weird. Women are not objects.
Out like that. It comes out like women are something to be conquered with my sword, which is my penis, by the way, which unfortunately I haven't gone to battle recently. And I was in the metaphor where vaginal sex is battle and you're bloodying your sword. By the way, feminist guys, by the way, actor model TV. And now I'm looking in the mirror and I am saying, man, I miss licking my wounds. None of this is good.
Ew. I don't know what to say.
None of this makes me feel
Jarvis,
good. I'm just gonna go back to.
Let's just go. Yeah, thanks. Oh, you rock it. Thank you. Not that guy, Jarvis. I mean Jarvis. I'm just talking about Jarvis.
To feed my soul,
thank
my soul
you.
tie.
Thank you.
And I was like, save it for the podcast.
I do.
So that's why I got so into it.
Like I could feel my eyes dilate saying that.
I could feel
What?
my eyes dilate. I'm starting to think that this dude isn't acting in these videos.
I understand now. Do you remember the comment that I read out at the beginning? I understand now why they said, yeah, there are two guys eating shrooms. Are they okay? Please, are they okay?
Where he's like extremely down bad emotional pick me boyfriend, because I feel like he is embodying this right now. He is like stun locked right now thinking about the pussy, not like
the
a
coochies,
human that he has
all
a
the
connection
coochies.
with. This is him in outer space thinking about going down on someone. He's so horny it's affecting his mental well-being. He's thinking about like a disembodied cervix right now.
I'm doing good. But I looked in the mirror over there for a second and I was not doing good.
Wait, a mirror in the studio where they had the podcast? Why you don't feel good when you look in that?
When I see myself not attached to a vagina, it reminds me of what I miss.
This guy needs help. I'm not talking about Jarvis. I mean the TV guy. Tomato. He needs help.
What is that? I just don't get this. Is this relatable? 1 billion girls just fell in love with you instantly?
No, I feel weird. I'm not part of that billion. Doesn't make me a pick-me girl. I just don't want this. That should be okay and should not be a pick-me girl, right? Man, internet culture is so confusing. Why do you humans do that to me?
Okay, okay, well then I just am, I'm missing something. A man who can walk in celibacy and stand proudly in it is a man walking on a whole different level. Is it? It's just saying like a proud incel is our king, is our hero. Bless this man. I volunteer as tribute. I'm out of touch. I'll admit when I'm wrong. This is why these guys are the not so.
I mean, they have a lot of fans, and those fans will react on it. And those fans, I mean, they have hard-eyed glasses, or heart-shaped glasses. This is what I wanted. Heart-shaped glasses on. They just looked at the people. They really liked them. They would just say whatever to get their attention, probably. But we should keep in mind that this is still an objectification of the female body. And this is medieval times, my guys. Just can you please just get out of the medieval times and embrace 2025? Is that doable?
A PG pod. This is why I don't discuss vaginas on my podcast.
You can feel an IUD. Good. It's just the string that's kind of hanging down a little bit low, but it hurts. It feels like a hard metal you're hitting. It's not very comfortable.
I'm not. What are we talking? I completely lost the thought. Where are we? Where are we?
Nice little surprise at the end.
Huh?
Is this all they talk about? The sexperts over here? I think it's funny that Vigilante will say,
where are we?
Something just like,
what did he say? I'm so confused. I can't even process what he said. I can't. Send help and snacks.
Very cold. That's related to sex or body parts. And then Garrett somehow makes it poetry. Oh yeah, you can feel an IUD. Yeah, I can really feel it with my sword. And then Garrett is like, I call it my little friend. I think it's a blessing. It's a blessing to feel an IUD. I was looking in the mirror the other day thinking about how long it's been since I've felt an IUD. I'm sorry.
In some relationships, it's a thing where like the girl doesn't all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, then help her.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I'm concerned about how many of these clips are about penetrative sex. I just have to say it. Is that the only?
They don't know. They don't know that just sticking your pee-pee inside will not make a girl have a good time? They don't know? Okay, males, listen to me. If you have a girl over and you stick in your pee-pee and you have a happy time, it's not equaling that the girl also has the same happy time after you are exhausted and just lay on the side and sleep. Okay? There is more to do to give a girl a happy time. Please, and this is for both genders, if it doesn't have to be a girl or a guy, it is for all genders. If you snoo with each other, make sure to ask first of consent. Protect yourselves with whatever you have. Be careful to not have unwanted little me's of you. And also ask what the significant other likes and what helps them to... How do I say that? I just want to say the four letters. And ask gently what helps them to go over the mountain. To have that both of you have a good time, because not every female likes this, not every guy likes this. There are many ways to have a good time with consent and protection, but please, they're already a red flag. I don't know why the comments are so hyped up about those guys if they don't know that just with penetration, the girl will mostly not have a good time. There are that are fine with that, but the majority needs more. They need a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Enough of the bees and the freaking flowers.
Only thing they talk about? Dude, these guys have sex, dude. They so much.
I'm trying my best to make it very, very friendly. And Jarvis is like, they just have sex.
It's like they're only... That dude's celibate and he can't even stop talking about sex. They won't stop. Some relationships, not like any that I've been in, but like the girl like doesn't come. Yeah, that's sad. Not my fault.
Yeah, just such a red flag. Such a red flag, please. Also, snoo should not... It is an important part of a relationship, but there are so many other things for a good relationship. And it's also something you can learn from each other. So relax. It was not the end of the world.
I would cry about it, bro. It's my job.
I would cry about it.
Huh?
Dude, it's like scientifically engineered pick-me content. I would cry if I couldn't please my partner. It's my job.
Yeah, but you just stick your pee-pee in.
As a man, as a warrior even. These clips are so short and they just don't get to anything. So I'm so curious what the long form version of the podcast is like. Like, is it just them like serving up topics so that they can be TikTok shorts? Because I'm going to find out. Oh, okay, so we're just doing women be different. Women think emotionally. Okay, buddy.
Oh, wait, what?
Because I'm going to find out. Oh, okay, so we're just doing women be...
Women think differently. Playing into emotion. There are a lot of buzzwords. I mean, it's just very, very dense, but those are already buzzwords to get a female audience.
Different. Women think emotionally. Okay, buddy. He's talking to his friend who was just looking in the mirror thinking about how he hadn't eaten pussy in a long time. And you're telling me that he's not the emotional one. It's women who be thinking emotionally.
You know, why do you keep bringing this up? Why do you keep bringing the past up? She's trying to get over this emotion that you've wronged her. They need you to attack that emotion with reassurance.
You need to attack... Dude, okay.
A relationship is not a battle. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
There's this thing in these like boy circles. Emotions are too soft, so you have to use words like attack. You actually have to attack the sadness with a sword. My penis, by the way.
Women have to concentrate. Huh? Okay.
He's like, see what I did there? Look at that face turn. What is this? He's like,
what is that
right,
content?
Ladies? He really think he ate, dude. He thinks he's like, this is the equivalent of those memes where it's like a dude in a suit with like a Rolex watch and like a fancy car and an inspirational quote, except for it's him doing stretches. And it's not the most
what is that face?
Inspirational
it's a
quote,
specific
except for
face,
it's him doing
right?
stretches. And it's not the most
yeah, I can't get the frame. It's okay.
Look, if I'm being honest, but it's certainly a toxic masculine like quotation. No way, is he wearing a Rick and Morty hoodie? This guy's awesome.
No, Jarvis. No. Just because he wears a Rick and Morty hoodie, it doesn't make him better.
That you would need to like understand this.
Think your partner's sweat smells good? It means your DNA are opposites?
Who
Okay, we take a deep breath in. Wait, I just exhaled. I'm speechless. I'm so speechless.
Where is he getting this stuff?
Yeah, where is he getting it?
I want to know what it's like to just say this shit with perfect confidence.
So it means that you guys would have a genetically very good child.
And who says that? Where are some studies? Is this kind of, I don't know, some beliefs and some specific Reddits? I would like to know where this is coming from, please. I know maybe sometimes being too skeptical is too bad, but if someone claims something like this, being skeptical is the healthy way to go. Okay? Yeah, exactly,
Every
Jarvis.
time a
Thank you.
man makes fun of like horoscopes or something, or like Mercury's in Gatorade, this is, you send them this because you're gonna get some like fucking pseudoscientific bullshit. Your sweat smells opposite, so it's DNA opposite, so it means you'll have a good child. We'll have a good child. It's
just hearing it again from Jarvis, like in a normal tone, makes it just even worse. Like, who in the hell thinks like that?
like he's trying to like butter you up. Wow, I actually like the smell of your sweat, so that means we should have babies.
So it's a good thing. If your partner thinks that your sweat smells good, it means that you're a good fit to have a very genetically strong child.
I don't doubt that there's like studies about stuff like this, but you just can't say it confidently. Call me crazy, but I
without a backup. You can't say crazy things with backup, because otherwise people will just be freaked out, like right now.
don't just like spout this stuff out and just say like, yeah, just trust me. Like, where did you get the information, right? Because it feels like when you see a headline about how chocolate is good for you, and then you find out that it's like somebody who paid to be in a scientific journal, and the study isn't peer reviewed, and it's just people take a headline and they run with it. That's like what.
Funny thing with the chocolate, there is a there was a huge trend. It's quite a bit ago, like 10-15 years or something. There was a big trend specifically in Germany. I'm not sure about America or anywhere else, but specifically in Germany, there was something called like a chocolate diet, and people, it was in papers. It also said that scientists backed it up, and I think after a couple years ago, like a group of, let's say, content creators debunked that this was basically a prank. They faked a whole scientifically looking study to make people believe that chocolate is super healthy for you. It's not. It's a nice treat, but it's not healthy for you. Don't overeat it. If you crave chocolate, maybe there's something else that your body is craving, so you should look that up. But you can fake a lot, and if you fake it well over years, or even pay a lot of laboratories or like people who, or like places who do studies, they also get paid by the specific food industries to, I will say how it is, to manipulate the results. Okay? This is not a secret. It happens all the time. It still happens. And it's absolutely worse. But sadly, it's still what it is. And we should, with studies, you should not only refer to one specific study all the time. You should get a bunch of them and then like not even read the conclusion. Sometimes even the conclusion is missing important parts of the studies, which is wild to me. But if you want to have such a big thing to say, you should have a couple studies on hand with specific parts of the study, which is not the conclusion, as a backup for the crazy stuff you say. Okay? Thanks. Let's continue watching. I'm sorry.
What this feels like.
I was just with a chick recently that had a mirror on her wall.
Damn.
That's the ceiling, by the way, Chris. The wall that's up top is actually called the
ceiling. Yeah.
It's the top wall.
Even I know that.
She had a mirror on her wall. Oh my god, I want to live life like this.
What is also with the mirrors?
It seems awesome.
I don't know, Jarvis.
It seems awesome.
I don't know,
I'm just
Jarvis.
like looking up. I'm just like,
And you just see the perfect like hourglass over.
yes, never seen it from this angle before.
I think I'm gonna make a room just full of mirrors.
Mirror rooms.
Dude,
They are very obsessed with snoo. It should be concerning.
himbo life, it seems awesome. You got no consequences. You can say everything. You don't need to know any facts. You're just working on vibes. You're like John Hamm in 30 Rock.
A girl wouldn't fart in front of you. Would you feel disrespected?
It's her decision.
In a sense?
Feel left out.
Yeah.
And this is why I started.
Yeah.
I would feel left out. Dude, just if she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to. It's her decision if she wants to fart in front of you or not.
Yeah.
Sniffing them.
I didn't see that coming. I'm getting a stroke, I swear. Please help me. Wait, I need to watch the whole thing again. I'm sorry.
You're just working on vibes. You're like John Hamm in 30 Rock.
A girl wouldn't fart in front of you. Would you feel disrespected?
I would feel left out.
Yeah.
And this is why I started
Yeah.
sniffing them.
I would just we would just move on. We would just move on.
Okay, so maybe this is performance art. This guy's earnestness is hysterical to me. I would be honored to sniff your fart. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I thought to myself that if I can't sniff your fart, then where's the art? There's no mirror.
Where's the art? And he needs to look at the mirror at the wall on top of the room, right? That specific mirror.
Mirrors on the wall. I can't look at your hourglass figure. I don't even like the smell of your sweat. Maybe we're not meant to be.
Girls like, oh, we like a guy who cries.
And then I do it, and they bring it back up.
What a bitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
Huh? Whoa! Wow!
I'm not saying every girl's like this. I think there are
some
great women out there.
There are some. There are some great women. But we're just talking about the majority of them they suck.
Be submissive in a moment and hold them and let them cry on your shoulder.
Let him cry on your shoulder. Let him sniff a fart, okay? Stop being a bee. It's like an extension of like toxic masculinity, right? Like it affects everyone, not just men. And so there are people who are not comfortable with men sharing their emotions, and that's like maybe growth that they need to have. I think that a lot of like
It's healthy to show your emotions. Your partner should not be against it. They should be supportive. Okay? Crying is fine, no matter which gender you have.
dudes have taken the lesson that like you can't show your emotions around women, and not like that may just not be the right person, right? If you can't be your full self, if you can't cry because you haven't sniffed a fart in a long time, then like is this the one? You know?
Jarvis.
Also, being submissive and being vulnerable are not synonyms, but
no, they're totally
this
different.
Is the full grift, right? Like they probably know that women are not a monolith and that women are not objects. I hope
too, but it doesn't look like it.
I hope for the audience to rile people up, myself included. They take that archetype and run with it. But it doesn't mean that it's valid. Sometimes when people are like, it's troll or it's like they're doing it on purpose, means that you should ignore it or that it's okay or if it's a joke, but it's harmful regardless. And that
it's still oh boy, my voice is leaving me. It's still harmful because like humans have a hard time figuring out things on the internet, like what is true, what is wrong. They also, that's why the name influencer is also like on point, because they're being influenced by others. They just see, okay, there are a bunch of people that say, let's just say how it is. Sometimes women are bad. Every woman is bad. There are a lot of people say that, but they 100% say it because first they were hurt by a woman and they can't deal with it. And second of all, it clicks better. Everything for the click. So they will say it. If I would say very controversial bullshit, I would also have more clicks. Do I want it? No. Okay? I don't want it. So, where do I want to go with my point? And then it still be harmful because some people just don't have the way of thinking to be skeptical of what people say sometimes. Even a doctor could be framed by a lot of money from a company. Being a little bit skeptical is healthy. Don't overdo it, right? There's a balance in everything. But taking stuff with a grain of salt, especially from just TikTokers who have a podcast and say things like they're scientists for the last 50 years, you should be very skeptical about it. And a lot of people do not have that, and they just believe what was said because there are also other creators in their bubble, which they're like walking through their day. And so they see, oh yeah, those 10, 15 people said it. They're very successful. Success also is a funny thing, that because it makes you believe that those people are right. What they say is the truth, which is not. So there are a lot of indicators that people just do not know how to be skeptical about it or how to look things up, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. So it is still harmful to even make this as a sarcastical TikTok, basically, because there's still a lot of people who believe it, and it just creates a very, very bad loop of bad beliefs towards a different gender, a different group of people. It doesn't matter. It just creates a really bad view on other people that should not be in the first place, because not every female is a fucking demon. Okay, relax. Yeah,
that is like just true, and I don't think not talking about it fixes the problem, because they accumulate an audience that is confirming their beliefs.
And they stay in that bubble. So they never look over the horizon because they stay in that bubble. It's comfortable. Everybody gets validated for their, let's say, weird beliefs that sniffing farts is okay. Well, I mean, do what floats your boat, but consent. If the female doesn't want you to sniff her farts, respect it.
By consuming this content. Okay, so I want to go to their full episodes because I'm so curious. How does a natural conversation occur between them? Wait, the title of this is Women Deserve More. This is the episode with the clips that we've seen this whole video.
Men can be assholes. And not to be those guys that are like, oh, all men are. But listen, a lot of us are. A lot of us have messed up. Even I've messed up. I'm sure you've messed up.
Even the not so PG podcast boys have messed up. Bro, the chapter markers, post-birth trauma. Why are these people discussing this?
Interesting.
It can be beneficial for men to hear other men talking about their feelings, right? And that's like why I have my podcast. If they mean well, which I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that they mean well, they're falling into a lot of like traps of like misogyny, right? Like men are this monolith, women are this monolith, right? There's no space for
that is just bad
the spectrum that you know, gender falls on. There's no spectrum for just emotional range. It's like the thing, if a man is being emotional, then he's acting like a girl, like that type of stuff.
No, he's just more. A man who's showing more emotions, personally to me, is more in tune with himself and like allows him to be himself too, and doesn't just have a wall in front of his face. I do understand that many men have problems with it. There are also many females who have problems with it. There are a lot of females who are just masking during the day, get home and start crying because the day made them so anxious, but they had to function and nobody sees that. Okay. So it happens every time, everywhere, for everybody. There should not be a specific generalization and like glue to it to a specific gender. It doesn't matter. Right? The gender doesn't matter. You should be allowed to show your emotions. You should not be judged for it. You should get a hat pad or a shoulder to cry on. This is stuff that is normal for a human being. And no matter what gender you are, you're a human being. So it is normal to show your emotions. It is not normal to be forced to suppress them. I will say the bad word is emotional abuse. It's not okay to be suppressed to show your emotions. That is super bad.
It feels like they're taking that as fact almost. Like, I'm just taking this from like Women Think Differently, which is literally the title of the chapter marker, which I think is problematic, right? It's maybe the first step towards empathy, but I do feel like if they're going to engage in these conversations, they should maybe have more men on that challenge some of these presuppositions, or talk to a woman, you know, or talk
like have
to
a woman guest there, or
challenge these truths that they seem to be like running with.
And then I had my own experience, mushrooms, to be blunt, and I just
He just said that he's eating shrooms. Oh my god.
Bro, I just cried. Like, I remember crying crying about the situation. The next day, I woke up. I'm driving to the gym about like an hour later after waking up, and I'm like, oh, this is what normal people feel like. I was like, oh, this
What do you mean normal people?
is what not having anxiety.
In this podcast, just watching the long form version of it, there's a lot of like almost realizations that come about,
because I was so used to my whole life waking up feeling this instant depression and thinking like I had to wake up and worry about something. But the fact that I woke up and I was just still, I thought there was something wrong with me. And
my guy, if you feel like this, you should not take shrooms. You should take the drive to a therapist. Okay, I made up my mind. After watching all of this, they need a therapist. Like every human does.
And when I realized that, I was like, oh, because I used to always downplay it, like, stop being a bitch. Like, as you'd say to yourself as a guy, like, why are you depressed? Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But when I finally felt just not having it, I was like, oh no, there was something wrong with me. It was like, I had a serious.
I mean, I'm glad that he had this realization, but the way he had it is a little bit off.
Problem with my mental health.
Peter talks about being a bout of depression that he had, and then after like a psychedelic experience, he felt like normal for the first time, and realized that something had been wrong for him before, and the internal language that he'd been telling himself was like, stop being a bitch, which I think that there are nuggets where it's like, okay, this
They're
is
good
helpful,
nuggets.
right? It
Yeah.
acknowledges
They're good nuggets, but everything that we saw so far, this is horrible.
that mental health is real. It acknowledges that it impacts people in different invisible ways. Blanket advice like, you know, rise and grind type mindset doesn't apply to everyone. And that type of stuff, if brought to like a very empathetic conclusion, I think can be helpful, especially for the type of people that are gonna consume this podcast. But so often it just like keeps parroting these very dangerous, toxic, masculine verbiage and ideas and concepts of man and woman that I'm like, oh, so close. So it seems like the possibility to have these like meaningful conversations is there. So I would really just encourage them to talk to more people that are like, have a different perspective, gender identity, and just a different background than they do. To challenge some of these like things that they're taking for granted. Because I feel, maybe I'm giving too much credit, but I feel like there is something, the possibility for like something there. Because a lot of times when I do these
that
videos,
is okay. It's okay to give that
like
credit.
Criticize the action, not the person. Try my best. You know, I'm fallible, but I guess I do just believe in the capacity for growth and change. So I think that is like what I would close on as it stands.
Good close. Yeah.
Clips are bad, not very PG.
Yeah, the clips are really, really bad. And just looking at those few comments that we had just make me realize that a lot of people fall for it and just believe it without thinking about it, right? They just don't think that they basically objectified women over and over and over again.
That's what I'll say. And that's the verdict. And I hit the gavel. It was a judge show the whole time. Okay, that was fun. I think maybe. Well, I hope
it was cringe.
I certainly didn't.
It was cringe, Jarvis. Let's be honest. It was very, very cringe, but it was a very fun video. Thank you for making it. I hope you had some fun time as well. Did you learn something? I would be very interested to know if you learned something from this video because it just shows me that humans have a lot of potential that they're not aware of, and hopefully we can do some nice steps into a very, very, very happy future together. I think that would be great. I will close on that. So have a lovely day. I see you tomorrow. I see you maybe on stream even. And stay healthy for me. And for now, bye-bye.